Hey, what's up, guys? So here we are in beautiful Bali. Check it out, beautiful rice fields, tropical paradise. So today I want to talk to you a bit about fasting. Fasting. Lots of people out there talking about fasting, recommending fasting. What I think the truth about fasting is, are those scooters too loud? Can you not hear me when the scooters go by? I don't know. We'll see. Fasting is death energy, in my opinion. Okay? That's what I believe. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I believe. Fasting is death energy. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Nature needs death. It's maybe a sad reality, but it's reality. You know, all this rice eventually has to die. Everything here eventually has to die, and it'll be recycled and turned into something else, and that's just the way it is. And fasting is part of that death side of nature. And people talk about autophagy, right? How like the body basically consumes itself during states of fasting, and yeah, I think that's a very necessary part of being human. You need to let parts of yourself die and consume them and use them to create more life. The nature of how it works. Death supports life, life becomes death, and the cycle goes on and on. So yeah, let's be clear here. Everybody fasts. Every single person, every single animal, we all fast. When we sleep, we're fasting. I do believe it's true that when we sleep, we go into like a fasting state, and autophagy does commence. In the morning, we have break fast. We break our fast with breakfast. So we all fast. And I think that we all fast. Our senses, let's say it like this, our senses tell us when to fast. So if you're going to have an idea, let's say, that I need to fast for 40 days, let's say, and you go through with that idea and you actually don't eat for 40 days, but during that time you experience some appetite, some hunger, well, I don't even think that's fasting. No, that's not fasting. That's forced starvation. Okay? Because if your body has an appetite, it's telling you it's time to eat, and you should never, ever, ever, ever disagree with your body. Your body is your master, and it's a delicious. It's a let's say this, not delicious. I don't know where that came from. It's a wonderful, caring master who wants only the best for you. So you have to listen to it. You could say you're a slave to it, but that's a negative way of saying it. It's not like that. It's just your body knows what it needs at any given time. When it's tired, it knows it has to sleep. When it's hungry, it knows it has to eat. So my suggestion is don't fall into these ideas of, oh, I got to do an 8-day dry fast to be healthy. You're just going to force yourself into starvation, force yourself into dehydration. You might die. That's the thing. People who do this, who force starvation upon themselves, it seems to me that they, quite often, they die. Of course they do, because it's forced. It's not natural. And look, fasting, as I said, is death energy. Like, if you don't have an appetite, right, and you don't have an appetite for like a sustained amount of time, let's say for, more than one day or whatever, you are sick. You are sick, And I do think that, like, fasting is part of the healing process when you're really sick. Although, I'm not even so sure about that. I just feel like people don't have an appetite when they're sick because the body is so sick it can't even handle the input of food. It's actually in a death spiral. And you're lucky if you even come out of that spiral. Every time you're sick, even with the smallest little cold, you're in a death spiral. You're spiraling down into the circle of death, into the vortex of death, and yeah, most of the time when you have a cold, you pull out of it, but you still were in that death spiral. And if you didn't have an appetite, let's say you got like really bad flu and you had hardly any appetite, well then yeah, you're pretty deep in the death spiral, because having no appetite is definitely a big That's big death spiral energy, let's say. Big time death spiral energy. Yeah, so that's my suggestion is don't force yourself to fast. If you're hungry, eat. It's so simple. Okay, that's a really loud bike. You probably didn't hear what I said. If you're hungry, don't force yourself to fast. If you're hungry, eat. It's so simple. If you're thirsty, drink. If you're tired, sleep. If you're horny, well, you know what to do. So yeah, never fight the body. Always listen to the body. And yeah, that's just the way it should be. That's just the way it should be. Alright, so that's 6 minutes. Is there anything else I want to say about fasting right now? I don't think so. We covered how it's death energy, how death energy is a necessary part of life. We die a little bit every night, you know? Everybody dies a little bit every night when we sleep. It's a little death. And we have a little birth every morning when we wake up. And we got to thank the lucky stars that we survived the night and bless the sun upon awakening. And yeah, and so every night, every person fasts. We break the fast with our breakfast. And so yeah, you don't need, you know, people talk about, oh, you know, you need to do intermittent fasting, you need to get the benefits of autophagy. No, you get the benefits of autophagy naturally when you sleep. Everything is perfect. The body's perfectly designed. Never fight it. Never fight it. So yeah, I'm here in Ubud, you know, this is kind of like one of the spiritual... Sorry, I'm not in Ubud right now. I'm in Bali, but Ubud is, you know, maybe an hour that way. And up there in Ubud, lots of people into fasting, and so many of them become gaunt, thin. They lose their muscle. They lose so much fat. It's forced starvation. They're like literally forcing death upon themselves when they don't need to. Because here's the thing. Here's the good news for you. You know, if you think you're got some health ailments or whatever, and you need to fast to heal them, but you've got an appetite, well, here's the good news. If you've got an appetite, you're relatively healthy. And you need to feed that appetite with food. If you don't, you're just going to make things worse, I think. I think you're just going to make things worse. Never fight the body. Never fight the body. All right, I think I said everything I need to say. You want to take a look at a panorama of where we are here in paradise? Check it out. Oh, yeah, look at this beautiful sunshine. So over there, oh, this is cool. You can see the mountains right now. You got I believe those are the West Mountains of Bali. Okay, and they kind of stretch out that way. And you just got rice fields. See the rice field workers over there? Okay, we got some offering area here. Okay, we'll do a full 360. More rice fields. Little hut where I recorded that video, this video, and back to the mountains. Cool. So yeah, never fight the body. And remember, fasting is death. And, you know, if you don't have an appetite, don't force yourself to eat. If you do have an appetite, eat. Body knows. Body's wise. All right? Okay, life is simple. You know, people try to make it so complicated. Complicated protocols, life hacking, all this stuff. I'm going to talk a lot about this stuff on this channel, how all this life hacking, complicated, you know, eat 3 teaspoons, you know, swallow 4 pills at 8 a.m. or whatever. All this complicated stuff is all bullshit, man. Life is simple. Life is simple, you know. Just listen to the body, listen to your mind, listen to the soul, listen to the moral sense within. Listen to every sense. Let it guide you, okay? And don't over-intellectualize stuff. Don't think, oh, I need to do this, so I'm going to do it. You know? Yeah, use your mind for stuff, but at the end of the day, only do what you feel like doing. You know? All right. Okay, I think I covered it all. Coming up on 10 minutes. So just to recap, I guess, yeah. Fasting's good. We need to do it sometimes. We all do it every day when we sleep. And that is just enough usually. And when we get really sick, yeah, we lose our appetite, and we shouldn't force ourselves to eat if we lose our appetite, just as we shouldn't starve ourselves if we do have an appetite. All right, cool. Said my piece. All right, take it easy. Bye for now.